Hey, Transmath class, we are going to continue on with some dividing of fractions, and this is going to be a shorter section. I'll just have a few examples. So it says divide and simplify. So remember, every time we have a division problem, we're going to change it into a multiplication problem. So we're going to multiply, and we're going to flip the second fraction, and we're going to look to see if we can cancel anything, and I don't see any of the same numbers, so we just multiply across. And so 5 times 2 is 10, and 4 times 1 is 4. And then we're going to look for the greatest common factor. 10 and 4, they're both even numbers, so I can divide them both by 2. And so I would get 5 over 2 for my simplified answer. All right, next one. We're going to write this as 2/3 times, and we're going to flip this over, 100 over 3. And we're going to multiply across. I don't see any of the same numbers to cross out, so we'll multiply and we'll get 200 over 9. And I don't think, factors of 9 would just be 3 and 3, and those don't go into, 3 doesn't go into 200, so I think we are done with that. All right, and then for part B, we're going to take 3/4 times 2/4, flipping that one over, and we're going to multiply across and get 6 over 16. And 6 doesn't go into 16, but they're both even numbers, so I can divide them by 2. 6 divided by 2 is 3, and 16 divided by 2 is 8. So I should get 3/8 for that one. All right, so here it says divide the fractions using the traditional method. Write the quotient in simplest form. Okay, so we're going to rewrite this as 2/3 times 8 over 1. And we're going to multiply across. 2 times 8 is 16. 3 times 1 is 3. And 16 and 3 don't have any common factors, so we're done. Number 2, 1/4 times, and then we're going to flip this over to 8 over 2. So 1 times 8 is 8. And 4 times 2 is 8. Okay, so if we have the same number on the top and bottom, right? I think we remember what that is. That's just equal to 1, right? If I divide by 8, I get 1 over 1, or just 1 for my answer. Okay, next one. 5/6 times 4/3. And multiply across, I get 20 on top and 18 on the bottom. Both even numbers, so I'll divide by 2. That's going to give me 10 over 9. That's my simplified answer. Number 4, I've got 3 over 100 times 4 over 1. And 3 times 4 is 12. 100 times 1 is 100. And let's see. They're both even. They could be divided by 2. But I think they could also both be divided by 4, because I know that 4 goes into 12, and 4 also goes into 100, so I'm going to divide by 4. 12 divided by 4 is 3, and 100 divided by 4 is 25. Okay. Now let me just go back to that one. Let's say that you had your 12 over 100, and you decided to divide by 2. That's okay. But what you want to do then is look at your answer, and we end up with 6 over 50, and then say, oh, well, 6 and 50 are still both even numbers, so I could divide them by 2 again. And then I would end up with the same answer that I got by dividing by 4. I would get 3 over 25. Okay, so if you don't pick the greatest common factor right away, it's okay. You just have to kind of look at your answer and say, is that all the way simplified? And then if you notice they're both even yet, divide them by 2 again and get it down as simplified as you can. Okay, 3 over 25 times 7 over 6. And so that would be 21 over 25 times 6 would be 150. And so 21 and 150 have a common factor of 3. I'll divide them both by 3. 21 divided by 3 is 7. 150 divided by 3 is 50. And last one, we've got 6 over 16. We're going to times by 6 over 5. 6 times 6 is 36, and 16 times 5 is 80. And I think they both have a common factor of 4. 36 divided by 4 is 9, and 80 divided by 4 is 20, and that is simplified 9 over 20. And I think that's it. So just a little bit of practice with dividing and simplifying.